The term casualty is the liability side of the insurance contract. We started with a look at absolute and strict liability and how that differs from vicarious or imputed liability. Perils were also detailed. Then we began our discussion of the principles surrounding losses, including the difference between direct and indirect loss. Proximate cause and its related concerns were included, as well as the requirements necessary to establish the proximate or actual cause of a loss. Remember, blanket insurance covers all insured properties under one policy. For instance, a business owner with 10 properties at different locations could always purchase 10 separate policies, but that would be a paperwork nightmare. Instead, a blanket contract allows all the properties to be covered through one policy, which saves time, effort, and money. With blanket policies, we included the idea of the margin clause that's often attached to higher risk policies commonly called non-standard policies. The last section finished with an in-depth discussion of the different methods of insuring and valuing property. There were a number of methods through which both real and personal property might be valued, depending on the type of policy and loss incurred. Now you're basically familiar with terms such as market value, agreed value, stated value, and other valuation methods. We finished this last part with a look at the different types of construction methods and how underwriters view them in terms of the risk concerns and associated premiums. This next section of the lesson starts our discussion on negligence, which is a critical part of determining liability. This isn't a long section, but it's important. We'll discuss the difference between tort and criminal law, and you'll learn that tort law deals with civil wrongs, whereas criminal law deals with actual crimes. You'll also learn that a person could be accused of both civil and criminal infractions as a result of the same act, such as a drunk driver striking a pedestrian. Negligence is usually defined as either failing to act with reasonable care or acting in a way that a reasonable person would not. Negligent acts are defined by the fact that they cause harm to someone or something. Liability refers to someone being financially or legally responsible for some act or omission. Regarding insurance, liability often means something that could cause the relevant party to suffer losses. The other common meaning is an obligation to pay damages for someone else's harm that occurred because of a party's negligent or illegal actions. Damages are money paid by a defendant in a civil suit to compensate a party that suffered harm as a result of the defendant's actions. Damages can be seen as being paid to reimburse another party that was negatively impacted by a breach of some duty or violation of a right.